It's raced off into the gutter here at Millennium. And exciting passage of play, the best of the match so far from the Kangaroos.
This surface really playing a part, the slippery nature of it. This one doesn't get the bounce for Boyd to set up and possibly go in the corner. But in the lead-up play, for sure, we saw 4 or 5 players slip over and attack. And once they've made the bust, they want the ball to go wide, so they just have to find some sort of way. They could be on their back or on their side just to keep the ball moving.
Cooper Cronk, we saw there, the Dally M medal winner, the Player of the Year in the National Rugby League this season. Yet didn't win his club award. Cameron Smith won Melbourne Storm Player of the Year, and there are 6 in total players in this Kangaroo side who won Player of the Year awards this season. And now England with the ball played by Josh Charnley. Between Charnley and Hall, you have just so many tries, so much potential for 4-pointers. Their efforts in the Super League have been quite astounding. Now Ferris on that left side. He was very good in the England Knights game against Samoa, warm-up match, and now finds himself in the starting 13. Slow play the ball from inside the 40, but no problem to be taking off for 10 Roby, and now proponent along for Burgess is almost offloaded in the Bird tackle. Thurston over the top. Here is Tompkins. High ball this time. Back to centre field. He's got Slater on the run. Great take, Slater. And falls into the tackle of Rangi Chase. There's a lot to like about this contest, Daryl.
Oh, I think the ground is actually evening the teams up and making it more difficult to see who adjusts best to it. Billy Slater couldn't change direction quick enough to get back for this ball and put himself under a little bit more pressure and then come up with a great play. What a mistake. Is it? No, good defence.
Tate regathered there. He's just outside his 20, but Australia under a fair deal of pressure here. Trailing by 4 points to 0. Not a whole lot of metres made in this set. This is Bird working the left side, and he cops the treatment. And has lost the ball, Greg Bird. Great defence. Sam Burgess got across there. Bird is left strewn on the turf, and he may be carrying an injury now. But England to have a scrum feed 40 metres out. Burgess went in hard and physical, and low down Callum Watkins.
Just using his body, big Sam Burgess, to finish off the tackle. As Bird was twisted, happened right in front of us down here. The ball dislodged. Bird, a bit of shake of the head. Am I still here, he says.
Great field position for the English team. This is the sort of thing they've been practicing, coming in sets from 40 metres out. And let's look, if they get to the end of the set, we'll look for a creative kick on the end of it.
Centre field, the ball taken forward by Ferris, 35 metres away from the Australian line. Hall, the try scorer, on the left flank for England. That ball has been knocked down by Inglis, I thought it was. So the run is in vain, and England will get another scrum feed 35 metres out from the Aussie line.
It was good to see the English team working on a pattern from a scrum. They had the numbers on this side. If that pass had gone through, there's a 2v1 on the right edge, and obviously using Sam Tompkins, which is probably our most potent attacking threat at the moment. Actually being the ball player at the moment, he's not actually the running threat.
Well, he's the build-up talked about Slater and Tompkins. Who is the real Sam Tompkins? Who is the real Billy Slater? Who's the real deal? Well, they both are. What we're seeing here today, we're seeing 2 playmaking fullbacks. Ball kicked out the back, and Roby with it. I don't think I've seen a ball healed out of a scrum in 25 years. Seen one in the first 15 of the World Cup. Perinara this time blows penalty. Maybe at 4-0, maybe the thinking is go for goal, but this will tell us the mindset of England. Sinfield says no, go for line, stay on the attack. I love it.
Yeah, tough penalty for Australia. I mean, that scrum had screwed around, no one knew when the ball come out, but anyway, play on.
So they don't think they'll win in 2s, they want to win in 4s and 6s. England with the ball 12 away from the line. Roby darts away, short pass, Ferris was almost through. And now Tate more or less looked like he dropped the knee into Ferris, and then Sam Thaiday. Well, I think he wanted a souvenir jumper.
Oh, brilliant.
He was trying to take it off him.
James Roby, beautiful call down the short side, nearly scored.
James Roby's on fire, and it's all coming from the quick rucks that these forwards are generating for him.
Stay on the attack, Hill with the ball. That time it's Gallen and Thaiday, 15 gone. 4-0 to England. A team embarrassed by Italy last week. George Burgess with it. Burgess! It's time to stretch out. George Burgess may have got it down. Well, what about that? He had no right to get within 5 metres of the line, let alone look to plant the ball over. And now we're off to the video referee. And you at home will hear every word of the deliberations in reaching a decision.
To be tackled too, we've got to see if the ball is grounded. At this point, it has possession of the ball clearly. And we're looking to see if the ball ends up on the ground. From that, it looks like it's lost. And I think the ball's actually come out of his grasp.
Early indication, no try.
So you can see the ball clearly in his hands. There's no Australian hands near him. So the ball's come out of his fingers there, and the ball is lost. Can we just have another look to see where the ball ends up, to see what the restart is? I think it's lost over the line. So it's going to be a no try, and it's going to be a 20-metre restart.
Well, Darryl, what do you think about that? How conclusive was that?
I disagree. That's a try for mine. The slow-mo, when you break things down frame by frame, you actually lose the visibility of whether the fingers are still on the football. And I'm with the crowd. Listen to them. That's a try. Sean here can't stand beside himself. He's on the chair.
I'm gutted. I thought it was a try, but talking about a second effort, it was a third, fourth and fifth effort from Burgess. It was unbelievable.
He is a colossal improver, the rookie of the year from the National Rugby League. He had 3 matches in 2012, but this year, quantity, the minutes, and quality of the work, and you see it here now on the test stage.
Well, I swear Australia's dodged a bullet there for mine.
Now Matt Scott with the ball. There are 10 members of this Australian side you're watching today, 29 years or over. And at the moment, it's some of the young bulls, if you like, on the England side that are showing it up as Gallen loses it. Gallen makes the error. Despite the Australian protest, it'll be an England scrum feed. 5 metres inside the Australian half, and this is an Australian side that is losing their mojo. Tamo's pass was probably forward.
Tamo decides to offload it at the line before possibly going through, and he's tackled before getting the ball, Gallen. However, it was a difficult play after just surviving a pretty tough effort on your own line. Getting to the kick would have been the preferred option if you're Tim Sheen sitting in the crowd.
Boy, oh boy, did you see this coming? Tim Sheens did. He tried to warn his players all week. It's unfolding just as he predicted. And Tompkins on his back in the thigh-day tackle. Roby has been magnificent. Ferris has been outstanding. Doing Huddersfield proud here today. Opening day of the World Cup. And this time Burgess got past Scott. Was looking to offload. Roby 20 metres away. Hill on the charge. He's gone straight through the gate and lost it as Slater picked it up. But the Australian defence, it crumbled. It crumbled straight through the hay diddle.
I don't want to be negative, but having had so much possession, so much field position, the scoreline should be more than 4-0 to England. It's a little bit disappointing that they haven't got to 10 or even to 8, because I tell you what, Australia are going to get some field position in a bit, and they're going to be very dangerous.
I tell you a difference here in this play here is England. When they're in defence, they've put shoulders on. Australia have been arm grabbing in defence here. As we see players go straight through the middle. So time Australia put the shoulders on, they'll slow England up in their defence.
Exactly. You see the players Hill just beat through the centre. We're talking about some of the stars of Australian Rugby League right there. They missed the tackles. 1, 2, 3.
Here's a change for Fifita.
Fifita is on for the Kangaroos. 18 minutes in, and now Smith on to Thurston. Better build up. Oh, Slater, that's a terrible ball put down by Boyd. What was that from the Australians? It's called forward anyway. They used to have an old pass the ball competition. That would have missed the board from Billy Slater.
Then the Australians might ask the referee, can they just start the game again, because it's certainly not the Australia that we're used to watching, and all that is down to the pressure from the English team. Cudjoe goes up, makes him rush his pass, and obviously it was a mile forward.
Fifita on for Tamo in the Australian side. That's the first change. And England with the scrum win on their own 40-metre line. Chase, the work that he's had to do has been competent. It was Ferris tackled there by Thaiday.
Let's just remember Australia sort of decided to go into this World Cup without a lead-up game. So, you know, the players will be a little bit rusty. A couple of intense hit-outs, but no actual lead-up game.
As for some, they had a match in Papua New Guinea the week before the grand final. And now the ball with Westwood. Well, again, Bird, that was ineffective. And his left arm looks to have gone dead there, Greg Bird. Sinfield to Chase, falling and passing. Now Tompkins, he can do a dance. Look at him go. Tompkins. My grandmother on my father's side was English. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. So,
Quick
Cameron Smith to restart. 10-0 it is. What an amazing opening quarter to the World Cup. And what a 5 weeks we've got coming up. Wales to play Italy later today here. It's a little forlorn-looking Tim Sheens, a little bit, I don't know, perplexed at what has happened. And it is Hill to play it. They've won the battle up front. They have won the battle right through the centre. Look at this. They've now brought on Tom Burgess to do exactly what his brother George was doing and what his other brother Sam has been doing. Ball has been turned over. That stems the flow.
We don't really know much about the Australian offence because they've hardly had the ball yet. But this guy, obviously, they're trying to get the ball into English's hands because they want one of the strike players getting involved in the game.
I think that was his first touch.
Now Darius Boyd with it, 35 away from the England line. Australia with Smith, and this time Gallen locks horns with the England defence. It was Westwood, it was Roby, and it was Tom Burgess there. Smith, right side, Cronk goes short, Fireday. Cronk was knocked over out the back. Good tackle from Chase. Now Smith turns it on. They've brought on Parker. The Brisbane Bronco Player of the Year is now on. His second test. Smith, Thurston, dab, kick across, fielded by Inglis, then intercepted by England. And up it comes, Josh Charnley with the ball. And again the crowd lift. And an attack diffused by the England side.
The kick not really on the spot from Jonathan Thurston. Didn't find the mark 1 metre out from the try line and too flat. So England, well, didn't contest the football as Inglis goes up, but not in a position that you really needed to defend either.
I haven't seen Sam Burgess play that much in the NRL, but wow, what about the yards he's making up the guts?
Dropped there by Tom Burgess, his second touch of the football, and they rally in there for the young fella. Just 9 games in the NRL this year for the Rabbits. He didn't have the eye on the ball there, did he?
They've been a revelation, the Burgess brothers in Australia, and everyone's warmed to them. Everyone that's viewed them play, taken plenty with them.
Well, there's plenty of brothers spread across this World Cup, across the 14 teams. You've got the 3 Sims boys playing for Fiji. We're going to see them in a couple of nights' time. And scrum 1 for Australia. And Slater was almost away from the tackle of Chase. But there to assist Cudjoe, the try scorer. And Ferris slow to his feet, Slater. 30 away from the line for Fifita. We know that he can offload. We know that he can run. He can score 50-metre tries, Andrew Fifita. Cooper Cronk short there to Gallen on the spin. Thrown down by Westwood and Burgess looking to play for the penalty. Now Smith gets it across this England defence. Roby fell off the tackle there on Fifita. Big chance for Australia. 24 minutes in, they get a penalty. Well, the penalty count is mounting here with that referee Henry Perinara.
What are you doing? That's 3 consecutive errors from England. Since they scored the try, they dropped the ball twice and then give a penalty away.
7 penalties in 24 minutes, but a 10-0 scoreline to England. And Parker, bit of the grey ghost about Corey Parker now for the Australians. Thurston off to Gallen. Another who can offload, but they've handled him well so far, England. Sam Burgess there that time. Quick play the ball across. Smith, nice work. Inglis, they get up in his face. That's a good tackle, Sam Burgess again. With Westwood, Smith a dummy half. Then they switch, but the defence on the goal line is rock solid. It was Sinfield that time on Bird, who wrestles his way to his feet. Thurston to Cronk. Cronk lines it up. Fifita from depth, but tackled front on by Burgess. And then with Parker and Cronk, and Thurston bats it on quickly, takes under pressure, back to Thurston, Hall can't handle, England have got it again, Tompkins almost lost it, but they've managed to hang on.
It's a great set indeed. from England, because Australia went coast to coast. On the left, it was Tompkins who put in a great try-saving tackle down low on Inglis. And then 2 plays after, when the kick was on for Cooper Cronk, he decided to go wide. And guess who turns up in the right place on the left-hand side as well? It was Tompkins.
Well, they are growing in confidence. They say in big matches you try and play for the silence. The crowd is into the game. They're urging every run, every big hit, every tackle in that goal line set. They were almost on their feet. And you can see leading the hit up Sam Burgess. Tompkins has had plenty of touches for England. Giant kick over the head of Slater. And it is, oh, incredible, incredible. It almost pulled up half a millimetre from the dead ball line. 20-metre restart.
Not a bad thing that actually went dead. Obviously, it'd have been great if they could have tackled Billy Slater in the in-goal area. But give England a little bit of a break, a little bit of a blow after that tremendous defensive set on their own try line.
Slater, player of the tournament at the 2008 World Cup, despite that pass from the final that led to a Benji Marshall try. But he was fantastic throughout the tournament. Now Thurston back to the right, Cronk, brilliant ball. Slater, the Melbourne Storm combination. They threaten the England defence there. Friday to Thurston. Cronk starting to put a stamp on it. Love Alley from 26 test matches now, Jonathan Thurston. And Tim Sheen's a little more comfortable at 10 points to 6, 27 minutes in.
Sometimes in an even battle, it's just the athleticism of one player over another that provides a difference. As we see Inglis over Irvine and brilliant Sam Tompkins. Had a fine 28 minutes so far.
I will say this, England have scored more points in this first half than they have in their 2 matches combined from the last 2 World Cups against Australia, when they were beaten 52-4 in Melbourne in 08 and 22-2 at Twickenham in 2000. So the metre was running at 74-6 going into today. So they'd be happy at 10-6 in front.
This is a real test match today. Both forwards really trying to get up, getting stuck into each other. The only thing was slightly concerned.
Hall has crunched Brent Tate. He almost knocked Brent Tate over to England. The hit was that big.
Having a good match, the try scorer. The first try scorer, should I say, for England. Lovely little play down the short side after Cameron Smith plays peekaboo behind a couple of defenders, then chooses to go to Tate. No time at all, and then smack right on the right shoulder. Cotton Addy says, picks up the ball, and like a thief in the night thought he was away, but they call him back.
He's a big boy for a winger here.
Well, if it was me on the end of that, I'd be dead. He'd be talking about me in past tense. That Voss, he was a good bloke. Great tackle, Hall. Great tackle on Tate. And Australia getting the scrum feed, much to the disgust of Ryan Hall. And the Aussies with it 41 metres out from their own line. Oh, Thurston may have knocked on a dummy half there. That was a close one. Gallen tackled by Sam Burgess. Now Inglis, Australia getting into their groove, and it's come on the back of a number of penalties and a few errors from England. Smith, Cronk. England just have to try and weather the storm. The crowd thought that was forward to Fifita. 21 metres away from the line. Tough period here for England. 10 minutes away from half-time. Cronk with a dart. Almost away from the tackle of Sam Burgess. And Ferris, now Thurston, oh, that's a breakdown. Thurston and Slater, they got nose to nose. Well, that's quite the abomination, that play on the last for Australia.
It's very unusual. There's a breakdown in communication there between with Cooper Cronk, and unfortunately they didn't get to the kick, which they'll be very disappointed about, because if they've got a back-to-back set there, the English were under real pressure.
So unusual. You know who the player was there putting the pressure on those two? It was Tompkins. Now, Tompkins up in the defensive line making a tackle. You think he'd be back inside the in-goal area waiting for a kick in through.
A half that has yielded 3 tries so far. England with Ryan Hall and Leroy Cudjoe. Sinfield a goal for their 10 points, and Thurston the try and the goal for Australia. England possession, 30 away from their own line. Not too many on that right-hand side, and Sinfield, the captain, kicks it downfield. Oh, lovely take. Brett Morris right out on the fingertips. The St George Illawarra winger comes back for the Kangaroos.
Tackle one there, here we go.
Talk about two try-scoring wingers for England. That's beautiful stuff from Morris, but Morris has got over 100 himself in the National Rugby League. Again, the defence is solid. Poor old Brent Tate out on that right-hand side. He's getting his ribs and his shoulders examined. Smith, flat again, Slater, Thaiday, playing right up on the advantage line there.
Really impressed with Rangi Chase's defence on that left edge for the English team. He's getting up hard, he's muscling up on the big guys, and he's doing some excellent reads.
And again, they go flat, the Australian. It's
come on now, come on now.
It's a passing game that's pushing the envelope a little. And Cronk's kick, looking for Inglis, and Boyd again. Good protection for Josh Charnley to come up with the ball. He had one horrible moment against Italy in the second half last week in the warm-up game, and basically led to the match being won by the Italians. An error late.
And then doubles up with a nice run too after sheltering the football. Good play, because Australia never really contested that football, and they needed to. So they could give the easy take on a plate to England.
As you watch this too, the England performance, this is a side without James Graham and Sean O'Loughlin today. You would expect them to be in their top 17 down the track. And back for the kick from Chase this time. And again, he's found the grass. Slater with it, 10 out from his own line. Wants to bring Morris into the play. And Brett Morris with the ball. Brother Josh also in the squad, twin. Watching on from the bench today. Brett looking to keep up his record of a try a game in Test Rugby League. He's 12 tries from 12 Test matches. Inglis with the ball. Collected over the top there by Sam Burgess. Burgess on a mission on this right-hand side, looking to lock up Inglis today. Thurston, off it comes for Bird. He's got a little bit of footwork, Greg Bird.
Come on, Sam.
Titans Player of the Year for the Gold Coast this season, with Gallen thumped in the tackle. Sam Burgess is playing a fine game for England. He's not the captain, but it's a captain's knock. Cronk got good pressure there and was forced to rush the kick. Pressure came from Carl Ablett.
Once again, excellent kick pressure from the English team. Carl Ablett rushing up, making the great Jonathan Thurston rush his kick, and making a very, very easy kick for Sam Tompkins.
Then Hall went across field. And now for Cudjoe. Jeez, what a moment for Leroy it was to come up with a try from a bomb. A great leap and spin and score. There have been some moments, loose ball there from George Burgess, and the Australians have come up with it.
I was just about to say this game's started to get into a real arm wrestle. First mistake's going to be crucial. The showing goal.
Don't fall for the Thurston dummy. That is at the top of every cheat sheet of any team playing a side that has Jonathan Thurston in it. And he almost made them pay a big price there. And again, it's Sam Burgess.
Well, he was late, wasn't he? He couldn't really make the full tackle on him, so he just had to play at the ball and fortuitously come up with it. A big play on Inglis here on this right-hand side, having a wow of a game. You said you liked him before, Sean. Have a look at him now.
Oh, he's been outstanding. I don't think it was fortuitous, though. I think he actually made a play to get a rip.
Oh, two of the Kangaroos are gone down. Well, that's one of the great Shepherd plays. Hitting the deck was Corey Parker and Greg Bird.
But I'm telling you, he ran behind him. That's what the penalty's for.
Watch this again. In they come. Oh, Sam Burgess knocked Bird out. And then I think he collected Parker as well. Well, you get two for the price of one. He can get a giant fluffy toy off the top shelf for that. That was big from Sam Burgess.
This is a huge set for the English team. They've got to hold the Australians out here, because if they score and go in 2 points or level at half-time, be a big disappointment for the English. Have been absolutely outstanding in the first half so far.
Westwood to the bench for England, and Australia with it 25 metres out. It would be quite incredible if Australia were to lead going to half-time. They trail by four away from the break. Cronk's almost away.
Let go.
Trapped. 9 away from the line. Smith, they thought of going short side. They come open. Gallen, then one-handed carry. Got through the tackle of Burgess. England just falling off some tackles, and another penalty. Ablett pinged there. Thurston lands it.
That was like Lionel Messi, bending it round the wall.
Bend it like JT. 18 points to 10. Half-time. Australia over England.
today. Group B gets underway with Papua New Guinea taking on France. Then the Kiwis begin the defence of their World Cup crown against a strong Samoan side. Live today on Premier Sports, your home for Rugby League World Cup 2013.
It's time to set the record straight. Betdaq charge new customers a maximum of 3% commission versus 5% at Betfair. That means more for you. So ask yourself, which sports betting exchange really gives you value? Betdaq, the sports betting exchange. Value you can bet on.
BT Broadband is the UK #1 for reliability, compared with all other major providers. It's totally unlimited for £16 a month. And for a limited time, it comes with 12 months free unlimited UK calls. Plus, you get BT Sport, which you can watch free online and on the Sky Digital satellite platform. So get totally unlimited broadband with 12 months free calls plus free BT Sport. A great deal from every angle. Call us today on 0800 800 950. But hurry, only 5 days left.
I want to be serious about a serious subject, hair loss. And if you're serious about hair loss, talk to the specialists at Advanced Hair Studios Clinic, who also take it seriously. Their trichologists can formulate a program for you, and their strand-by-strand procedure can replace your hair like it did mine. So you'll receive expert advice all the way, like I did. Call a specialist at Advanced Hair Studios Clinic now. Call Advanced Hair Studio now on 0845 600 8899.
Collect your first, second, or third Meerkat toy every time you buy car or home insurance or switch energy. So compare the market.com. Simple! What?
New Shore with Motion Sense, activated by your movement. The more you move, the more it protects. Sure, it won't let you down.
Remember how good homemade gravy used to taste with real meat juices? That was my inspiration for Knorr Gravy Pots. And now that flavour is all in here. Simply stir and simmer for a rich, authentic gravy. Tastes just like homemade.
Beef Gravy Pots from Igor and Knorr.
Discover the Express Treatment Conditioner from Dove. The things we do to our hair can damage it. Dove combines an intense treatment with a daily conditioner. So in just 1 minute, your hair is beautifully smooth and strengthened every day. Dove Express Treatment Conditioner. Feel the difference.
Now, for whatever life throws at them, there's new Persil, Small and Mighty. An amazing new detergent that can also be used as a pre-treater. New Persil, Small and Mighty. Better stain removal guaranteed, or your money back.
Flora presents
Wrestlers
by Josh.
Me and Dolly made breakfast for Mummy and Daddy for their anniversary. We used lots of tasty Flora buttery. Mum says there's yummy sunflower goodness in every tub. When we carried it upstairs, Mummy and Daddy were already awake. Mummy won't let us watch wrestling on TV, but she seemed quite good at it with Daddy. After all that wrestling, it was just as well we made so much tasty toast.
We know family life doesn't always go right, but with the yummy sunflower goodness of Flora Buttery, you know you can't go wrong. Flora, sunflower goodness for all the family.
Inglis will score for South Sydney. What a night for sunny Bill Williams. Mike Lewis lays it down with a perfect finish for Kuyuwate. George Burgess, how strong is he? Oh, Billy, he's under the post. Hurrell like a Sherman tech. Minicello scores.
See all your favourite World Cup superstars in action in the greatest rugby league in the world, the NRL.
England return for the second half. A little bit of history for you. When they played their first game as England, that was in 1904 in Wigan. They beat a side that was listed as other nationalities. It was made up of Scottish and Welsh players. They won 9-3. Each team had 12 players, but England started the match with 11 because one of the blokes from Salford, James Lomas, he was caught up. He got there late.
Yeah, I was supposed to pick him up that day, but unfortunately, yeah, I forgot to pick him up.
I heard a lovely story the other day from Millennium Stadium. The coaches, you saw them, they come down for the halftime address. Brian Noble at the 2004 Challenge Cup here at full time, he hopped in the lift. He got stuck in the lift and missed the presentation. He was stuck in a lift, the winning coach. So you take the stairs, that's the tip. Commentators, coaches, you take the stairs from the upper levels. And Henry Perenara runs the ball back out. Second half, it will be Australia to kick off with Cameron Smith, Sheens and David Furner back in position. He's had an unusual year, David Furner, former coach of the Canberra Raiders, former international. And just waiting for direction from the sideline, Henry Perenara. So here we go, second half underway, 18-10. Australia over England. In cricket, we'll have the Ashes battle getting underway in a matter of weeks. England have touched down in Australia, but today the focus is on the two old foes of rugby league. And Burgess with the ball. That is George. Thomas got probably, I don't know, 10, 13 minutes in that first half. And he was pretty good, just a couple of errors, but apart from that, very strong in the opening. Early kick from inside the 40, well inside, and Slater across has managed to knock it back into field of play. He's got the ball back, Billy Slater.
Oh, what sensational rugby league football. A brilliant 40-20 kick, and what, he was almost like a goalkeeper saving that going over the touchline. World-class play from Billy Slater.
There, oh, wow.
Is this guy for real? That's unbelievable.
Mind you, you said it over the sideline back in 08 in the final, threw a pass, and it was a Marshall try, but Slater knew he had a little bit of time on his side there. The daring, you go out on a limb, that's where the fruit is, and Slater, he came up with a big play there for the Australians in what was a really good kick. Now Corey Parker, he's been good. The bench players have been strong for Australia in this turnaround as possession has turned. Combination of those things. Now Cronk kicks from 5 inside his own half. Tompkins has got it for England. Passing off there to Charnley. The Australian fans and the New Zealand fans who don't know Charnley well, if he gets some open space, let me tell you, Josh Charnley can run. And England with it 15 metres inside their own half. And Callum Watkins hasn't had too many chances with the ball. Hall comes to centre field. Had the honour of scoring the first try of the World Cup.
Australia winning the ruck at the moment, and that's why we're not seeing as much as James Roby as we saw him in the first opening part of the game. The wrestling, getting the English players on the back and slowing the rucks down.
Yeah, the sign not so good here. The energy is not the same here from England as they started the game, and it needs to be here. 2 and a bit minutes into the second half. Slater's got more work to do. Across he goes to it. It can be a little thin, the playing surface down inside the 20. Tompkins had hold of Slater's leg. So no fullback at home for a moment. As Inglis brings the ball in centre field. Burgess there to make the tackle. The Australians splendidly turned out for the green and gold Blazers. The entire squad turned up in full dress. Nice touch. And now the ball with Luke Lewis. Trying to...
He just trusted his inside defender to cover the block player and you know, stick with his man, and I honestly feel that England would have had no problem there. But yeah, on first looking at it, I don't think he stepped in touch.
I think you gave us a potentially maybe there.
It's not like I'm rocking on the fence here somewhere.
Anyway,
we've got a feel for you. As Thurston's kicked 3 from 3, but Morris, well, what about him? 13 tries in 13 test matches, and the strike rate of these outside backs for Australia is phenomenal. They shift the ball wide at every opportunity, make every opportunity a winner.
And boy, there's another player who was player of the year at his club side this year, playing fullback for Newcastle. on the wing for Australia. Gee, Thurston has started that out in the car park, trying to swing it back in.
Well, it wasn't like Lionel Messi that time, was he?
No, I think he's playing the local league in Upper Cardiff Heights after that kick. Even then, it's a pretty good standard, I'm told. I've never seen a kick like that by Jonathan Thurston. That is an absolute... Well, you're the goal-kicking expert, Daryl Halligan. You're the best of all time.
Well, he normally times the ball particularly well to allow for a fair bit of curve from right to left on it. But this time he's drilled it and just sent it straight through there. As Gallen pushes himself up over the 20, so it's one he won't want to watch again.
Bottom line to all of this, 6 minutes into the second half, or 5.5 in, and it's 22-10. It was 12-10. Just moments before half-time. Slater gets that try, that runaway try, and now Morris, the first try scorer after the break. So England needing to stay in touch, physically and mentally here.
Lovely little offload from Parker. Tamo seems to have a spring in his step.
Played by Gallen, and now Smith. Oh, Croc. Oh, great tackle! Brett Ferris. They say tackle count restarted. Ferris on Slater.
Great read. Great read.
And this time, Henry Perenara is going to say strip knock on against England.
It is one-on-one.
England cannot get any call going their way at the moment. It's going to be an Australian scrum feed.
This was the inside ball, and Ferris just lines up Billy Slater. Sees it coming. Slater sees it coming as well. That's perfect. Gotta love that.
He's the man, Ferris, who came into the squad for Gareth Hock. I don't know what he... Well, look, I'm sure he thought when he got called up, he didn't think he was going to be in the starting 13 here. He's acquitted himself very well. Australia from the scrum feed, and Tate is going to attack and takes on Cudjoe. Not a lot of force in the tackle. Gee, they're aside under pressure now, England. Gallen to Tamo, 30 metres out, centre field. Burgess over the top, but again more metres made before George Burgess got around the legs. Smith, Thurston, right up to the line. So dangerous when he runs it up. 2 hands on the football. Defences kept guessing. 15 away. Smith, little blindside shot here. Thurston again, but covered up that time by Watkins. Callum Watkins on that right-hand side. Up against Greg Inglis. Now Bird back to the centre. And Gallen copped a good shot from George Burgess. Ball comes up. Parker quickly on. Croc has got a well-weighted kick. Hall is back for it. Hall is over the dead ball line. Line drop out England.
Oh, that's a vital kick there. I honestly think Ryan Hall could maybe coax that ball out. Nice little kick.
Well, he did the right thing, didn't he, Sean? And I thought he might have protected his body on one side of the football and then let it fall over the dead ball line and wouldn't have had to make a play at it. Now he gives Australia another set of 6, and if we said that had a spring in their step, if you watch their ball movement in the first half, they could struggle to get one pass sometimes from the play of the ball. Now there's 2 and 3.
That's a big moment. Let's hope the English team can hang out here, because they've had some tough calls from the referees. Let's hope they can get a turnover. Let's be honest, Australia have been virtually mistake-free since the 20th minute.
Wobbly old line dropout. I can tell you that Chris Hill is back out there. He was the standout front rower in the early exchanges. Now Lewis for Australia. First to it here back in 2003 and never got a game. Was quite controversial. Had to wait another 6 years to make his test debut. Now Gallen with the ball. 22 away from the England line, and low down in the tackle is Ablett. Aussies up by 12. 4 tries to 2 on the board as Smith. They go again, and the offloading is killing the England side now. Tamo, he can't pass. Nice tackle there from Ferris. Quick play the ball though. Smith and Cronk. This is Australia in full flight. On it came for Tate. Just 5 away. Last tackle, Lewis a dummy half. 22-10. 9 into the second half. Cronk's kick. Up goes Watkins, and it comes down for Charnley for England. And a penalty goes to England. At last the fans say.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty popular decision, because he hasn't given England much so far in the game, the referee. But you could see the difference in that kick is that early on in the first 20 minutes of the game, the English team was putting immense kick pressure on the Australian kickers, whereas that time Cooper Cronk had a lot of time to kick that ball.
I know you were holding your breath when big Greg Inglis was putting his arms up there, Sean.
Exactly.
Big set here for England. Let's see what they've got. Watkins with the ball, or rather Cudjoe 5 metres inside the Australian half. Oh, and up comes Gallen. Gallen blindsided Ferris there. And almost pulled off the biggest hit of the match, bigger than anything One Direction could come up with. As a penalty goes the way of England.
This is a subtle play here, and this is good refereeing by Henry Perenara. We'll get a look at it properly on the replay here. But when Ferris comes up, he is blindsided with a good shot and stands his ground from Gallen. And then as they get up to play the ball, Gallen plays at the ball in his hands as well. So good penalty.
Yeah, Ellery Hanley was the best in the world at doing that. Put his hand on the ball and slowed the ruck down.
And Ferris has gone from the field. Westwood has come on for England. George Burgess takes on the meat of the Australian defence. 10.5 minutes into the second half. England 10 metres away from the line. Chase goes flat. Sam Burgess onto the ball. Reading a preview of the World Cup in the League Weekly magazine, and Earl Crabtree, a good front rower in his own right, wrote the preview for each player, and he said George Burgess, he looks strong enough to lift the house. Well, he probably is. He probably is.
I'd love to see the size of the house these Burgess boys live in. It'll be huge. It's a mansion.
I bet they didn't have bunk beds, I know that.
Sean Edwards, Daryl Halligan, Andrew Voss in commentary here from Millennium Stadium. A celebration here today. It is game on. Absolutely, a 22-16. The locals, they are loving it. They've come from far and wide to watch this one. I ran into fans from New York earlier today, fair dinkum Americans who have grown to love rugby league. They came here to watch this. Now Sinfield, 40 metres away from the line, and this on a weekend when we've got the NFL at Wembley. As the ball is switched inside from Chase, and Burgess is the receiver of that. The try scorer, tackled by Scott, just short of halfway. Westwood, Sinfield cops the punishment. Tompkins away, then on for Watkins. Watkins to Charnley. If only he can find some open space. Sinfield was still down in back play. Tompkins is up on the line. He delivers the kick. It's a high one. Will come down 15 metres out. Tate doesn't get a fingertip on it. Morris has got it. Morris is almost away. Another man who can motor.
Such a dangerous thing to let the ball bounce. England scored a try in the first half when Tate let it bounce and went over their heads. This time they let it bounce again. Good play from England. They come straight off their line. Good break out to the right. Here's Lewis.
Lewis just short of the 40-metre line for Australia. Remembering, as Smith kicks, he stepped over the 40 there. Cameron Smith doesn't have the angle on the kick. Tompkins fields it. Remembering, the loser of today goes into the New Zealand side of the draw. Tompkins, up came Morris, doesn't quite get the big shot away on Chase. Yes, the loser is more than likely to be on target, on course for a semi-final duel with New Zealand, pending some sort of other upset along the way. So much at stake for England to try and stay at this side of the draw.
So much work to do for the outside backs here of England at this stage of the game as well.
Now Sinfield goes short there, and Hill was the man with it. He was very good, Christopher Hill. One of the most improved players in the competition. Interesting kick, that one over the top. Will get them some respite there. James Roby, ball into touch. 30 metres away from the Australian line.
Interesting.
James Graham watches on from the stands, and he'd be feeling the pain of every minute. He would love to be out there. Former England captain.
There's only one place for James Graham, and that's inside the white lines of a football field. He absolutely performs and delivers the whole time. Steve McNamara and his coaching crew up there. Colourful description of your kick from James Roby. Just shocking.
So a little delay in this scrum packing. Everyone's under pressure out there at 22-16. Referee, linesman, video ref, not to mention the players. Henry Perenara, a player here at the 2000 World Cup. As now the ball left side, Inglis. Good tackle. Really good tackle from Watkins.
Australia look very dangerous from every time they get a scrum. They're getting one-on-ones in a lot of space, and obviously the third try from Billy Slater was the standout one, but every single time as a scrum they look very dangerous.
Matt's got the play. 35 away from the England line. Out right side, Lewis, then Slater into the play. Flick pass from Morris. And contained there by Hall. But nice exchange of passes there from the Kangaroos. Tate, crossfield to Smith. Then for Cronk. Up on the line again. Thurston. Bird looking to offload. And it was, I think it was Burgess who came in to make the tackle. It was. Big tackle to stop the play. Cronk's kick. Found it beautifully by Callum Watkins.
Great play from Watkins. It was Watkins who come up and stopped the play and up and in for the defence. So second play in that set of 6 and 2 consecutive tackles from the centre. Caught it like a slips player.
And I think Thomas Burgess has been sent out there again for England. So I'll check that in a moment. We may have all 3 Burgess boys out there at the moment. Maybe not. I think they made a double change there, England. As now Hill with the ball. Round 25 of the National Rugby League this year. We had all 4 Burgess boys playing for South Sydney against the West Tigers. Kick from Gareth Widdop downfield. The Melbourne Storm player is now on for England. His first kick has travelled, well, the in goals are probably only 5 metres, but he's kicked it a good 65 metres there, Gareth Widdop.
I like the ploy here too. We go deep into the game and fatigue starts to come into it, so you need players that can kick the ball long and far. Step up to the plate, Widdop, one of the better kicking games or long kicking games, not only in the NRL but up here.
Come on, now hold. No, stand up, Matt.
Australia with the ball, 30 out from their own line, and Smith away to Tamo. I mean, for traditional league fans, they will have loved the front row battle here today. It has been quite wonderful. Even the front row is coming off the bench as now Westwood concedes another penalty.
Can't afford to do this, Sean. More possession.
That's the killer. That's the killer at the moment. You remember when England scored the last try? It was on the back of 2 penalties from the Australian team, and Australia give them field position, give them coming in sets from inside your own 40. It was exactly where the set's going to start, just 38 metres from the English try line. This is when you're going to start worrying if you're a coach.
Reminder for all our fans watching, we play under a 12-4 interchange rule here, so 12 changes allowed. So, you know, George Burgess may come back in for another stint here for England. Australia in possession, 32 away from England line. Boy, it's a slow play, the ball on Corey Parker there. I thought they should get a room, those 3 players. There's Australia with it, 25 away from the England line. We've got 22 minutes remaining now. 6-point margin. Cronk is with it. Thurston on to Lewis. Lewis is asking some questions of this England defence on this right-hand side. But what about the build-up? The speed of the play. Slater and Morris. It was magnificent.
That was so spectacular. They're still getting clarification as to what has actually transpired here. Henry Perenara decides to go upstairs. Okay. No way there can be awarded a try here.
Okay. Well, unless they're going to say that a player was taken out in going for the ball, maybe it's something before the line that may get a penalty. So obstruction they're going to inspect here. Let's have a look.
Okay, let's go with it. Looking for an obstruction by... Now England goes to him. Is he in touch? I need to look on that, see if there's a knock. Is he in touch? That's what I'm looking for. Is he in touch?
Well, there's a lot to look at here. Tate may have obstructed England defence, maybe England penalty. Are they going to look at the sideline? There you go, Tate.
In the end, England are going to get the ball. Let's get on with the game.
Foot is on the line. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, there. Yeah, but we'll go back to that one, please.
Let's use this for try-scoring incidents, not for small incidents like this. It's obvious England are going to get the ball. From whatever scenario, a scrum or a play the ball, let's get on with the game.
But was it an obstruction play or not? Did Tate take out a defender, and a penalty's a good result for England, gets them outside the 20, and we're going ahead to look at the scrum, or did I miss that, Darren?
Oh, I'm with you. Tate makes contact with a defensive player for sure, but I was more interested in the play from here. I mean, Morris does superbly well here, foot and touch there, so it's going to be ruled out if that's the case. But he flicks the ball back inside, and Billy Slater's he's watching, but Tate's on the inside of this, and if Tate actually is aware, he can pick up the ball and go. We'll get a decision here. Henry loving this moment as well. Henry Perenara.
It's not helping with his popularity among the crowd, I can assure you of that. But he's trying to do the right thing. I'm sure he's going by the laws of the game.
Well, we're staying at the same hotel as Henry. I think I'll go to the pub across the road tonight.
Time on scrum.
Well, I still say a penalty for England is a better result than a scrum feed 10 metres out. Robbie Farah is on for Australia here. And scrum fed by Reggie Chase, and Hall is the man with it for England. Oh, clutched in the tackle. Lewis was there with Farah. Robbie Farah playing his 5th test today for Australia. 19 metres away from their own line. It's still very tense here. We're not even to the final quarter. 21 to go at 22 to 16.
Wait here now, Sam. Go. Very good.
And to Westwood. Up comes the defence again. Widdop picks out a short runner in Ablett.
James Samuel!
Great take by Ablett at the line.
Go. 4.
And this is Sinfield and Hall. Widdop has given some life to the attack here. Tompkins away to Watkins. Just knocked off his feet by Inglis.
Brilliant tackle. Brilliant tackle from Greg Inglis around the ankles, because there was a try all over that.
Sinfield bomb, it's going to find the space, could bounce anywhere, bounces on, and it comes the way of Morris. And when the luck is with you, that ball could have bounced left or right, but it bounced straight on.
That was great play by England. They set it up on the right, and if it'd just been a touch wider Watkins, he would have got past Inglis, who'd just make a last-up tackle. Thaiday back onto the football field, and up he goes to the 20.
It was probably their best set of the second half then from England. As now Matt Scott with the ball through the centre. They go back to basics, Australia, in good metres.
Let's go, Kevin!
For the North Queensland and Queensland front rower. There's injury here. Westwood, I think, has been split.
Whoa, Matt.
He is bleeding.
Hey.
Mr. Westwood.
Tackle 4.
We've been in for a real treat here in this match. I mean, it has been end-to-end. There's some signs of the physical battle and the nature of the match. Sometimes the blood can be a little bit more disturbing than what it actually looks. It's coming from a winger.
That's a quick bandage of the head, that one. As this is where it happened, and he may have got a bit of friendly fire there, Ben Westwood. And now they're going to get rid of the jumper as well. So we've had a bit of everything. Now we've got some nudity in the opening match of the World Cup. He's a fiery customer. Bit of blood's not going to force Ben Westwood off. You'd probably have to chop his arms off.
How's that, all right? Tackle 4.
Not for the faint-hearted, is it?
So he copped the knee, and it's playback on here. Australia in possession, 5 short of halfway, and Westwood, just to prove his fitness, is the first man up to make the tackle. As Farah gets that one back to Cronk, he kicks. And the bounce is nice there for England, and Tompkins, he's done some wonderful things in this match. Sam Tompkins for England, a match of so many highlights. It's Fafita, and Westwood says, let's get it on. He rushed up. Westwood says, not here, lad. But he may have conceded a penalty. There wasn't much to what Fafita did. But Westwood wanted to get going.
No, Fafita's in the wrong here for mine. You have a look at what they do to Tompkins here. They twist him and they turn him round and pick him up and try and then turtle him and put him on his back. Now, does he lash out with the boots? Well, yes, he sort of does. And Fafita throws his feet away. And Westwood, he's just got the bandage, possibly looking for another.
No. Let's just play on.
Good
the
referee.
Players are ready to go, Sean.
Great refereeing. Just get on with the game. There was nothing in it. Let's get back up. Let's back. But it would have been an absolute travesty if England would have been penalised there, because that would have put Australia 8 points in front. But a great decision from the referee.
19 and a half to go. 22 to 16. Penalty England.
And another good decision from the referee.
Brilliant.
One of the greats of British Rugby League, Sean Edwards, calling it as he sees it. As England quick touch finder, they find plenty of ground. It's a massive kick. It finds touch 25 metres out from the Kangaroos line. Millennium Stadium, they're going to try and lift the roof off now. Christopher Hill is tackled, but on by Scott and Fafita. 20 away. And to left side with Widdop, hasn't he been got off? Thaiday! Thaiday has given Reggie Chase something right there. Little Reggie gets up. And then the ball is back with Tom Burgess held in the tackle of Luke Lewis. England a big chance. Hill tries to go through the centre. He offloads, it's loose. It's fielded there by Sam Burgess. Can't get a hit of steam up. 8 metres away from the line. Back they come for Chase. Across for Westwood. Wouldn't he go off if he scored? Thaiday again with a tackle. A terrible play. The ball, and Westwood is penalised. Well, not penalised, but pulled up for a scrum. He walked way over the ball. They're going to say lost control of it.
It's a tough decision, but it's the right decision. I was just about to compliment Westwood for catching this football, because when he was throwing it, it was meant for the player outside him. And there, as you can see, not quite getting the right balance to stand up and play the ball correctly, and therefore his feet were past the ball before he decided to try and put a football on him. Tough call, but a correct one.
Stephen McNamara has got to be proud of his English team. I mean, they've been under the pump just before half-time and just after half-time. They've really come back into the game now. And I really think they're getting used to this test match sort of intensity. I mean, they blew Australia away in the first 20 minutes. And obviously Australia controlled the next half an hour. But in the last 10 minutes, England really coming back in the game. And Steve McNamara, some of his big decisions he made have been, you know, picking all them Burgess brothers. You know, it's been really, really great performance from Steve McNamara.
Well, no matter what happens from here, whatever game England is in down the track, you're going to want to see it. They've proven themselves today after a terrible week. They lost to Italy, for crying out loud, 15-14 last week.
It was a friendly. It was only a friendly.
Well, Italy had 56.5 starts, Sean.
Did they?
And then Gareth Hock got sacked. And then the coach walks out of a press conference. And now Slater is driven back by the defence. 17.5 to go. And Scott this time falls into the defence, and England lift again. This is a real test match. As now Inglis is forced there, and that's a sign of the Australian forwards needing a little bit of relief here. Is 8. What a controversial few minutes it has been. 24-16 with 15.5 to go. And second match of the doubleheader will feature Wales and Italy. And I don't know whether I want this match to end. I want these two to still be going at midnight.
Let's hope the 8-point difference doesn't change the tone of the match. Attacking play from both sides for 65 minutes. Keep it going.
Scott runs up and charging through. Again was Sam Burgess, and it ended up a tackle for Ferris, and now for Fifita. We're yet to see the offloading of Fifita. His runs have been very strong, though. As Farah now darts off for 10. Cameron Smith in a back rower's role at the moment, with Farah fulfilling dummy half. This time Smith does get to acting half. 5 away from the line. I think this will be a steady set of 6 from the Australians. Thurston with it. Thurston now away to Inglis. And good tackle, Watkins. What a battle. Watkins has done well today for England. Kick comes through from Robbie Farah. Right to the corner. Tompkins cuts it off. Looks up. Kicker of the ball is right there to make the tackle.
You couldn't get better field position from an Australian point of view to put a brilliant kick in there. And we're on Rook 2 already, and England are only 10 yards from their own try line. I mean, English forwards got to get back and really dig deep here. And someone's got to give us a big Bulletin run.
Oh, jeez. There's another big shot. This one coming on Tom Burgess. Picked up. That's not easy, because he can pick up a house, Tom. As now the ball goes away to Cudjoe.
Great play by England. Couldn't get any yards up the middle, so they went wide.
Hall at a dummy half, was hoping to try and catch Tate offside there. And then a quick run. Oh, Hall's put it down, knocked back, play on. That may have been touched by the Kangaroos. Waiting for a call from Henry Perinara. I'm sure there was a kangaroo hand in that. As Widdop is ragdolled there by Inglis. And last tackle it is for England. And they're going short side on the last, and Watkins has to rush a kick, and he does a great job. Oh, that's a mighty kick from Callum Watkins to bounce it down, and Morris is with it from the 20. Back comes Morris. He's got the yellow boots, Slater's got the orange boots, and Morris is tackled there by Cudjoe. This is Tate, one of the veterans of the Australian side. Very much the medical miracle, playing in his 24th test match today. Lewis with it for the Kangaroos, up and over halfway. Haven't there been some star individual performers in this match across both teams? Now Smith away to Fifita. There's the bump from Fifita, was hoping to offload, but the ball was locked up by Ablett. Farah inside the 40 he goes. Australia probing, just chipping away here at the England defence. Last tackle, Cronk kicks. His man Slater is coming through. He's been bowled over. He's been bowled over right in front of the post just about. Billy Slater by Carl Ablett.
Taking him out.
It's another penalty, and the Kangaroos, I think, will try and keep the pressure on and go for the try.
Whoa.
Position themselves perfectly into the middle of the football field. I mean, Thurston was there, but Cronk knew he wanted the football to put it up for Slater, who was on his right-hand side. And then deliberately taken out.
Whoa, get on the line.
There we go. So no point extending the lead to 10. They will try and take it out to 14 if they can with a converted try. Big set of 6 to go. With 12 minutes remaining here. Farah back to Smith. Long ball across to Lewis. Does a step, doesn't pass to Tate. And Rangi Chase continues his good defensive effort today. Tate to Cronk. Cronk offloads there to Smith. Smith does some hard work there.
Block it back. Roll.
Exactly. Engaged with 3 defenders there. Again with Farah. They're wide from dummy half. Thurston, this is the build-up they love. Inglis has got it. Look out. Alarm bells ringing. But Watkins makes the tackle on Inglis.
Callum Watkins has been absolutely outstanding in defence today. He's kept Inglis relatively quiet for such a great player.
Has offloaded short, and there the ball is with Tate. Stumbling, goes forward, offloads to Thurston, looking for the overlap. Thurston is just a couple of metres short of the line. 11 minutes to go. 8 points the difference. Now Farah has kicked through and doesn't find Slater, who says he was tackled without getting to the ball.
Oh, take a bow, England. Scramble down
and Henry Perenara's been falconed here. A falcon at the World Cup, he got hit in the head.
Thurston charged for the line. The door opened and then it closed. Then a subtle little play in behind as they try and find a try to put this game without a reach. Work to do.
Line drop out, 24-16, a match that England led early, 10 points to 0. Ball down to halfway. Morris it is who comes back. You've got to love what you've seen in this first half, in this first match, and carried on into the second 40. England could have lost touch in this game. They fell behind by 12. But the contest remains going into the final 10. And another penalty for Australia as Lee Mossop looks up.
Got a call from the touchy here, Henry. Wasn't even looking at the play of the ball area. Let's have a look. See if it was raked out. Down low. Arm in there. Well, didn't quite get the replay.
I think it was the arm. Goes over. But Inglis did make contact with an England defender. However, having watched Tate Polak, the defender, earlier, and have no penalty, I suppose it's a try. But Boyd over. Plenty of big names in the build-up to the try. Let's hear the video referee, Ben Thaler.
The ball is passed from if he runs behind the man. At that point, he's released the ball, so that's fine. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that from that angle. Can I just have an angle, please, from behind?
Well, the early indication would be try from Thaler. He just wants to check another angle.
And if we can just slow it down when the guys get near. Okay, so we're looking to see if the Australian player runs behind his own man or if he releases the ball first. And on that, it looks like he's released the ball before he runs behind him, so let's play on. So if we can now go to grounding and make sure he grounds the ball cleanly.
Well, England don't like it. They want no try. They've come out of the in goal, but Boyd has got this over.
Can I just have a go back, jog that back, please, and watch the left arm to make sure the left arm is in the field.
And now they're looking for everything. Now they want to see if the left arm's gone touch in goal.
And the arm is up still. The arm's up. The ball is down now. That's a try.
Sean, you were critical early about giving the width. As we'll see, the verdict here being given a try, and a pretty damaging one. And there it is, from the box in the sky, as they call it. But just how much width and how big a spaces you can give this side when you cover on the outside, and they keep coming at you all day, Australia.
It's very difficult. It's just been an avalanche of possession from numerous penalties which the English team have conceded, and fatigue's obviously playing a quite large part in that. But the team with such quality, you know, state of origin players, But once again, you know, that's a contestable decision, you know. His hand was in there, there's no doubt about that, but you know, did he actually rip it out? I'm not sure. What I will say is absolutely brilliant technique from Darius Boyd to get into the corner there.
You can only sort of hold them out for so long when you're given so much possession. And yes, you've got to ride those storms with you. So 1, 2, 3 sets, you feel yourself lucky, but then another dropout, and they come up with points for sure. Great execution. They know where to go to. You know, they do the damage on one side of the field and shift it wide, and the skills take over from there.
Australian fans think the job is done. There is still time, but they will need a bit to go their way, England, if they are to come up with a miraculous victory here. But as a contest, for drama, for highlights, the high tackle of Burgess, it's had absolutely everything this game. An opening match of the World Cup that we're hoping is going to be extra special. And today has certainly set a high benchmark.
I honestly think that this
slipped over.
I honestly think this game will do England a lot of good. You've got to remember that a lot of Australian players are very good at slipping over.
Well, he's just done a bow to the crowd, Jonathan Thurston, after
lovely.
slipping over and missing.
I don't think I've ever seen a goal kicker stand down and bow to the crowd after they've kicked a goal, and even to miss one and then bow. You beauty.
Well, I think I did in sub-district rugby union back in Sydney. A bloke slipped over and he dropped his strides and turned around to the crowd, but that was in front of 24 people, not in front of 40,000 plus at Millennium.
I honestly think this game will do England a lot of good. The speed, the intensity of that, you know, all the state of origin standards, intensity of the game. The English players will do a lot more good in the future, the rest of the competition.
Oh, don't worry about that. They've played some football here today too. When they've had the ball in attack, they've decided to show what they've got, and they've got a bit.
7.5 minutes to go at 28-16. Australia over England. And so many times we see the Kangaroos run away with matches late once they get the foot on the throat. I hope for England's sake that's not the story here. Plenty of effort from them today. There's Robbie Farah. And Cronk kicks. It's a little long, maybe off the boot, and Hall has got it in goal. So back to the 20-metre line. So this is where they start to look for that miracle. There is time. 7 to go. They need 2 converted tries, England. But they're at the wrong end of the field. 28 metres out from their own line. And Cudjoe to play it. One of the try scorers from the first half. Tompkins. If ever they needed a bit of Sam Tompkins magic, it is right now.
Haven't seen a lot of him in the second half. Tompkins had a fine first half, quiet second.
Burgess short of the 40-metre line, not too far away from Wales, taking on Italy now at the World Cup. Anthony Minicello to lead the Italian side, the captain of the NRL Premiership winners, the Sydney Roosters. Penalty goes to England. Sinfield takes the kick for line. Didn't worry about the referee taking the mark, he just found touch. Here they go. Then I'll say it again, 6.5 to go. You wait to hear the crowd if England score here. Winnep across to Chase. Chase pumps it along. And Brett Ferris with the ball. 19 metres away from the Australian line. And now Cudjoe. And this is Burgess. He gets the legs pumping there. 7 metres away from the line. George to play it. Kevin Sinfield. There's a chance here for England. Ferris can't offload. Great tackle, Tate. Tate shut down the play there. Cronk could have been penalised for Australia. Chase does a skip across field. Winnep again. Tompkins just maybe touched it on. Watkins got it away to Charnley. Charnley is 9 from the line. Australia hang on. Still a few tackles up the sleeve of England here. Watkins to centre field for Burgess, and Burgess was looking to offload. Last tackle. They need it here. Well, that's an interesting kick from Sinfield. Straight across field. Then Winnep does a chip across field the other way. I've never seen that before. A grubber right, and then a chip left.
Well, the grubber right was actually a pass. It didn't go forward. Went straight across the field. So there's been some ingenious type kicks here today. Australia come up with a good and scramble just. Would have loved to see a repeat set played there. I know time's not the friend at the moment for England.
Gareth, let go!
Ireland were given little hope in defeating Samoa to progress to a semi-final qualifier. They needed to win by 5 points to finish on top of the pool.
How good is it?
The most important thing for the Irish throughout this World Cup was to keep on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all.
Perhaps Nigel Vangana has scored.
They repelled Samoa in the first 10 minutes, denying 2 potential tries to Nigel Vangana and hooker Terence Siu after the video referee disallowed them.
No try, penalty.
After surviving the early onslaught, Ireland piled on 3 tries in 7 minutes, with winger Pat Richards using his height advantage to touch down for his first.
They have been bashed black and blue. Somehow they come up with first points. And what? Oh, justice.
2 more quick tries to Simon Finnegan and centre Sean Gleeson had the Samoans shell-shocked.
He pops it over the top, looking for Blanche. Try number 3 for Ireland.
In a stoppage and penalty-strewn contest, the Irish led at half-time. They looked to be fading when the sirens sounded for the break.
To the air, and it's a nasty one for Michael Platt, who spills it, and try. Vangana, hoping this time.
Richards crossed over again after the interval. In a period when the Samoans should have reasserted themselves, they instead provided little more than errors. The hulking winger completed his hat-trick with 2 minutes remaining, helping Ireland to one of the greatest upsets in World Cup history.
The top, looking for another try, and they have found it!
I think it was a big night for Irish Rugby League tonight.
You know, we got what we deserved, I guess, in the end, and it's as I say, you know, the Irish were good.
See all your favourite World Cup superstars in action in the greatest rugby league in the world, the NRL. More fantastic sport in store this November on Premier Sports. See every game of Rugby League World Cup 2013 live. We race the final laps of the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Right side, holy cow, that was strong.
15 games a week of NHL ice hockey.
Crosby on the rebound, twice he scores!
The final stages of the Copa do Brasil and the Copa Sudamericana. Plus more South American football with the Argentine Primera Division and live MMA from Cage Warriors. See all this and more this November on Premier Sports.
With Betway, you can now bet in play on a massive range of sports via your mobile, tablet, Mac and PC. And with a free bet of up to £50 to get you started, wherever you are, you've never been so close to the action. Betway.com.
A low price usually means there's limits to what you get. Well, not anymore. PlusNet are making a stand.
Right now, you can get PlusNet unlimited broadband from just $2.99 a month when you take line rental. Now that's a deal. So, get unlimited broadband from $2.99 a month.
Now that's how you do unlimited.
Be quick, get unlimited broadband from just $2.99 a month. Go online or call 0800 313 4444 now. PlusNet will do you proud.
New Shore with Motion Sense, activated by your movement. The more you move, the more it protects. Do more. Sure, it won't let you down.
Discover the Express Treatment Conditioner from Dove. The things we do to our hair can damage it. Dove combines an intense treatment with a daily conditioner. So in just 1 minute, your hair is beautifully smooth and strengthened every day. Dove Express Treatment Conditioner. Feel the difference.
Now, for whatever life throws at them, there's new Persil, Small and Mighty. An amazing new detergent that can also be used as a pre-treater. New Persil, Small and Mighty. Better stain removal guaranteed, or your money back.
Flora presents
Wrestlers
by Josh.
Me and Dolly made breakfast for Mummy and Daddy for their anniversary. We used lots of tasty Flora buttery. Mum says there's yummy sunflower goodness in every tub. When we carried it upstairs, Mummy and Daddy were already awake. Mummy won't let us watch wrestling on TV, but she seemed quite good at it with Daddy. After all that wrestling, it was just as well we made so much tasty toast.
We know family life doesn't always go right, but with the yummy sunflower goodness of Flora buttery, you know you can't go wrong. Flora, sunflower goodness for all the family.
Burgess. Tompkins. More Burgess. Graham. Widdop. Another Burgess. How many of these guys are there? See the England superstars in action in the best rugby league in the world, the NRL. Premier Sports brings you coverage of every single game of the NRL season.
Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant!
Plus live and exclusive coverage of the State of Origin.
What an incredible try!
Don't miss a minute of the action. Premier Sports, your home for rugby league.
So Wales and Italy side by side down the tunnel here. Wales first played at the World Cup in 1975. And they beat England, they beat New Zealand and they beat France on that occasion. They were semi-finalists in 2000 where they pushed Australia right to the wire. A night where Lee Briers starred for them. And in fact, Wales led Australia at half-time in a semi-final at Huddersfield. And the two teams will line up for the national anthem. It's been quite the show, I've got to say. The elements around the match today has been a real good feel. I think they've done a good job putting on an entertainment package today in Cardiff. Given that later in the tournament, we'll have the big